Bam! What's going on, folks? Life Lessons with Juvy. I am your host, JuvyThaKid. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at JuvyThaKid. Let's get to the topics. Little Homie 127. Taboo topics, macabre scenarios, and horrific images. Mostly looked down upon by non-curious folks. What interests you about it? Why should everyone dabble at least a little in it? Well, I think it's healthy to, one, acknowledge our mortality. I think a lot of people get confused and kind of like think, we're a little invincible in a way. Or we're like the smartest species or whatever it might be. For me, it's kind of, it's a way that like, we acknowledge that like death is around us. You know what I mean? A lot of people try to avoid that. Death is all around us, and it doesn't have to be this grotesque and like I don't know, sad thing all the time. Gotta move some stuff. So I guess for me, it's one of those things where it's like for the like, so what. It's one of those things where it's kind of like taking something that's like usually not like accepted or the social norm, you could say, and finding the beauty in it, understanding that not everything has to be like bright flowers and sunshine and people frolicking through a field. It's because life in this world isn't that. Sometimes this world is scary, it's dark, it's grotesque, it's beautiful, it's with death and macabre scenarios and things that people would consider taboo. It's one of those things. For me, it's a way of acknowledging it. It's first, I don't know. I probably couldn't pinpoint exactly what like got me started about it. What interests me is like it's an acknowledgement of what a lot of people will try to like avoid and what a lot of people will try to push to the side. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but there's a bunch of crows going out back in those trees. Why should everybody dabble at least a little in it? Because it shows you a different way to appreciate something that you might be scared of. You know what I mean? Like there's not as much in season 3, but like season 2 and season 1, I think mostly maybe season 1, very, very artistic with the deaths and everything. And it's something that you can't help but appreciate. You can't help but appreciate kind of like the effort that went behind it and like understand what that person's vision like in a way was. I don't know. I think it's just something that like every once in a while, somebody comes along when the world and everyone else, excuse me, is focused on kind of, sunshine and rainbows, and they don't want to acknowledge this like dark corner in the room. There's somebody who's willing to go to that dark corner and kind of see what there is there. And as long as they don't let that just like completely consume everything about them, then they'll come out of that with, a different appreciation for things around us, a different outlook on the world that we live in, I don't know. There's just, to me, there's something beautiful about like how like peaceful death can be. You know what I mean? Like we're always rushing around and stressing about everything and fucking making wrinkles on our face worse by the day because we're always frowning about something, and then it just stops. We get to take that final breath out and just relax from it all. And we get to see what the next adventure is. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's something beautiful about that to me. So I think it's one of those things, like everybody should dabble in it at least a little bit. Maybe it'll give you an appreciation for like life around you. Vagtus underscore Baxwar. What is your opinion about fanaticism? What do you think are the downsides of it? Well, my opinion is if you're a fanatic about anything, religion, a music artist, fucking a TV show, if you're like, okay, so if for people that aren't familiar, people who are described as a fanatic, their behavior is just overzealous. They get into fucking intense arguments and stuff about like this thing that they're like obsessed about. They let it overwhelm their life basically. I've seen it from people that watch Walking Dead. I see it from music artist fans of all kinds. So yeah, it's just somebody who gets way too obsessed with something and like lets it affect their behavior and everything else around them basically. My opinion about it, fuck, if it's all downsides for me. Okay, it's healthy to like something. It's healthy to, talk to your friends and everything, and like other people that might enjoy that show or movie or sport, whatever it could be. That's fun. We need that because we need the stimulus as like humans. I know the popular thing in recent years has been, not needing anybody, and like you can be like a hermit on your own. But let's be honest, we all end up texting somebody, or we all end up meeting up with somebody and going for coffee or working out or doing whatever. You know what I mean? As humans, that like that interaction with others is a very big thing in relationships, and for a healthy mindset. So for me, it's one of those things like the downside is like you can't talk with those people. They can't look at anything rational or logically because all they're doing is like they're defending this rapper they listen to, this show they watch, whatever it might be. So they can't actually have like a mature, rational discussion about about that thing. I think it's one of those things like, I think a lot of people, if you like get super obsessed with it and you let it like take over your life, maybe that, I don't know, that might be something that like something else might be going on beneath the surface. And like, this is like the, I don't know, like surrogate family or whatever it might be. I don't know. Or it could be one of those things where depending on like what kind of thing it is, it like this person portrays an image or a lifestyle that like you yourself fantasize about. So you become obsessed with this person because they're kind of like a version of yourself in a way. It's weird, I know, but it's I don't know, it's definitely not healthy because you can't have proper discussions and conversations with people about it. A lot of those times those people just end up being kind of like rough to be around because that type of attitude translates into other things as well. Some people, their behavior itself, like they're fucking, they're willing to like fist fight somebody just because you don't agree with them on this choice or whatever, and it's fucking, that's ridiculous. Yeah, I don't know. I just think it's, it affects somebody's like mindset itself and the way they're going to behave with others and interact with others. And not for the positive way. It's definitely going to be a negative sense. So that, I'd say that's a downside and everything for it. This has been Life Lessons with Juvy. I've been your host, JuvyThaKid. Hit me up on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram at JuvyThaKid. All my quiet kids, freaks, and weirdos. For the love of everybody, keep being weird.